You are not going to believe this.
Who brought these drugs? Who brought that good stuff? Who brought these drugs? Who brought the drugs? Hit 'em with the magic tune. Hit 'em with the magic tune. Eyes rolling back of the head. Eyes rolling back. Like a zombie do. Like a zombie. What kind of drugs is this? Zombies out of it. Drugs on their face, just a little taste. Blood drinkers, death iller. What the fuck is going on? These motherfuckers, they straight gone. Snapping necks, I'm cashing checks. Lovely ladies, know I'm it. Dancing over with the broomsticks. These motherfuckers passed out. Their fucking eyes roll back and they're out of it, baby. We're moving on through. 1, 2. Who brought these drugs? Who brought the drugs? Hit 'em with the magic tune. Hit 'em with the magic tune. Eyes rolling back of the head. Eyes rolling back. Like a zombie do. Like a zombie.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon, and this is you. I just want to prepare you for today. I want you to put on your suits, your special, you know which ones I'm talking about, baby. Your special suits to absorb all shocks and gravity waves and gravitons and slits in space time and all the stretching that you get. I want you to put your suits on today, right? Effective splash mode. Do you understand me? Everybody in Satanic Congregation, this is a splash alert. Oh my God. Let me tell you what happened. I was fine keeping the course, working the echidna, bringing you the text, when one of you members of Satanic Congregation, oh God, and this guy is vouched, right? Oh God, somebody vouched for him. This wretch stepped up and said, hey, what about Prudentius? He has some of the really good creep. He does. I was like, oh yeah, Prudentius brings back memories. Last time I looked at Prudentius was probably 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Great source. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this wretch make for you a presentation. And he is going to show you what he found of the echidna in Prudentius. And you say, wait a minute, that's using a monis source, right? Doesn't matter. It's all source, right? What do? You think in court you can't use a hostile witness, right? Of course you can. They sometimes are the best. So Gunk wretch threw this curveball at me, took me off mark, and next thing you know, I am surrounded by satyrs, and I am Christing testicles. I have a text, people, for you today. A couple of texts that I want to show to you so that historically, educationally, you can see what it means to Christ testicles. It's in the text, people, right? Is nobody surprised? Nobody should be surprised out there, right? So we're going to be Christing testicles today. I want you to be as educationally ready to go as you have ever been. Okay, that gave you enough time to put your splash suits on. So I assume everybody's ready to go. Are you ready, Chewy? Are we going to hit it? Go ahead, hit the hyperdrive, baby. Look at that. Go ahead, put it up there nice and big, people. You know what? Make me the medium size. Yeah, no, put me up there. I like it better when I'm up there. Boom. Fantastic. It feels like I'm not in the basement. Are you ready, people? I'm gonna translate this to you. Okay. I'm gonna translate this to you. And I want you to look at the word that is in highlighted yellow. Katachrie. Katachrie. That is to thoroughly Christ. Look at this word, people, to thoroughly Christ. Can they see it like this? To thoroughly Christ. And what are you thoroughly Christing? Tus didumus. Does anybody know what those are? It's a set of twins. It's a set of twins, baby. And this is how they refer in antiquity. This is so educational. This is how they refer to testicles and ovaries. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Testicles and ovaries. We are going to Christ testicles, because in this context, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about testicles and Christing your testicles. Now, if you were to ask me, what is a Christ? A Christ is a drug. Christing someone is drugging them with a very specific application. It's not an oral application, right? It's an application that you are going to apply directly to the skin, or to the eyes, or to the ears, or to the throat on a wand, or to the rectum, or to we've seen the perineum. I'll show you. God, what does he say? He said the perineum. Where are we, Satanic Congregation? I told him it was all here. No, I want the first one, but no. Are you kidding? We haven't even translated this thing. Right, okay, take it back down to normal size. Good. People, what does this say? Are you ready? In the cases of those who have persistent, unremitting nocturnal emissions, it helps to apply plasters. Okay. The plaster of the seed of the hemlock on the testicles. If someone plasters over their genitalia, they will cause a paralysis of that part of the body. Do you understand why he's talking about this? Let me continue translating. He gives directions now, right? That was kind of the reasoning. This is a physician. That was kind of the reasoning. Or is this Dioscordes? I think this is actually Dioscordes, right? So Christ, people, what are we going to Christ? With the root, I'm translating, with the root of nymphaea. I want you to plaster the genitalia using the juice of corian and strychnon. Want you to Christ the testicles, right? What are you going to be using? Nitron, ramus, right? It's juice. And the squeezins of andrachne. Now, people, all of those words that you didn't recognize there, those are all plants. Those are all plants. One of them is like a sodium bicarbonate. Yeah, right, isn't it? Sodium carbonate, something like. Anyway, let Chewy run through some of these plants, because these are actual plants. Now, what is the doctor trying to treat? You see, can I get the text one more time? He's trying to treat nocturnal emission. And you say, Amen, can you break that down? I can break down nocturnal emission for you. This is an involuntary emission of seed. An involuntary emission of seed. Shut up, Timmy. What? I know. Joey wants me to tell you that everybody has been requesting, Timmy, So we're proud to present Timmy. Now, this is a medical condition, right? Once in a while is not pathological. Continued, unremitting nocturnal emission, that's a problem. Now you say to yourself, how do they get themselves in these situations? How do they get themselves in these situations? Some of this is drug induced. Some of this is drug induced. Okay. I'm going to show you the drugs. And you say, why would you want to initiate a state like this, to induce a state? Oh, God. Okay. Number one, people. That's the number one source. I just want go back to the source. Look at this first word, people. This first, I want to show you, outline this one. Onerotontas. Onerotontas. Now, a couple of things that you can't perceive from this text that I can give you clues about. You see those two towels in the middle? Those two towels are atomized sigmas. Do you understand? This is an old word from Pulaskian roots, and it means to be in a dream state while ejaculating, I should say, while ejaculating. Right? The dream ejaculation. Show us the definition, just so people don't think that I'm making this up, right? You see it in print, people. Let it get through to your head. Did you think you would ever get blown up? Did you ever think you would get such goodies in ancient texts? No, because you don't read these texts. We do. Classical philologists do. And a lot of us avoid the Bible, right? And avoid medicine for good reasons. This is one of them. Oneroso. Do you see the oneroso at the top? An oneron is that vision, dream, right? Look in the attic. They turn it into two towels, the two sigmas. You see that, people? Two towels? So that's how you know you're with an atomizing person, a person who is gravitating towards the Athenian pronunciation. Fantastic. Fantastic. Dream, they tell us dream. Or look at number 2, have an emission of semen during sleep. Why don't we have a word in English that means have an emission of semen during sleep? One verb. Tomorrow I'm going to blank. Right? I want to be able to say that in one word. The Greek, of course, that is so incredibly dominant, is able to capture that concept in one action. I am having a dream in which I am coming to physical climax. People, do you remember why this is important? Where do you think they're taking you in the initiations? People don't appreciate it. People don't appreciate the sexual link. Everybody's interested, what drugs are going to take you there and what drugs do they use? That's just a matter of chemistry, people. What about the state of your brain? Where does your brain have to be in order to receive these signals under the influence of the drugs? It has to be in a state of satyriasis. You have to be a satyr to be an antenna. Oh, God. You have to be a satyr to become that antenna of the mystery. Satyriasis. Okay, let's go to the next one. So you can make it small so we can keep the gang up there. Right? No. Let's go to this next one, people. We are with another doctor. This is Galen, and we are still Christing. I want you to look at the bottom here in yellow. Katachriomenon. There's our Christing, right? What are we thoroughly Christing now? Before we were Christing the testicles of the people who are having this emission, this nocturnal emission, and it prevents them from becoming aroused. That is one type of Christing. One type of Christing. Think of a Christed person and why it is that the crowd is screaming at the dude. Are you Christed? Yeah. It's the only time he shuts his mouth, you know what I mean? Right? Crucify him. How about this murderer? We'll crucify him. And said, no, crucify Jesus, right? He doesn't even have the guts to admit it in the end. All right, katachriomenon. What are we Christing here? We're Christing tois tithois ton parthenon. See the blue? Look at those tithois. What are those? Right? Those are the little breasts. The little breasts. And who are they the little breasts of? They're the little breasts ton parthenon of the virgins. You mean we are thoroughly Christing virgin breasts? Yes. But Galen is telling us it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Why would you use the nukteris? Nukteris, people, is a word that means the nightly thing, the nightly routine, and they use it to represent muron, which can be numerous botanicals that they create an oil from, a perfume. These are the unguents that the priestesses of Aphrodite are putting on their idoia, their private parts. That thing upon which the dude had the bandage, the kid who was arrested with Jesus. Oh, God. People. What are we doing with all of these plasters? Do you want to see what we're doing? We're putting them on the virgins. Why? Why are we putting plastic? Why are we Christing virgins? Stop Christing virgins, says Galen. It doesn't work. Give me the text. Why the hell are we Christing these virgins with the stuff that the priestesses of Aphrodite are putting on their genitalia? Well, we're doing this nightly ritual, right? Watch. Someone are writing about this. He says, whoops, I can't. Maybe I should make it a little bit smaller, push it up a little bit. Because Galen says it doesn't work. It's supposed to keep those breasts stretched before they're entering full growth. Okay. That's what the text says. Translating text. Galen says it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. There's no reason to do this. So you can see there's a doctor arguing against people who are using this as a medicine for young girls. Okay. You can see what they're using the oils and the same thing that Mary Magdalene is applying to the medical applicator / dildo, the alabastrin, right? Adding her drugs to that, her plasters to that, and then applying them to the Jesus. Do you understand? Oh, God. And he's Christed, so he's right. Oh, give me the next one, Chewy. Give me the next one. They're not going to believe this. This is so educational, people. This is Aristeas. Look, I was smart on this one, left the top there. This is Aristeas, right? He's a Cappadocian. So up on the Black Sea, right? Doctor. And remember, the biggest medical library is in Asia Minor, right? Right. So don't think, oh, he's not from Rome, so therefore he's not, medically trained. No, no, no. You got the wrong thing. This is the 2nd century AD, by the way. Right. Galen is from Pergamum. That's where he was educated at their temple. Technically, it's temple, right? Anywho, fantastic. So, what are we catachrioing? What are we catachristing here? We're catachristing the taint, people. I wanted you to see this along with the genitalia, right? It becomes very taisia. Look those terms up, right? That taint, I mean, by the passage of the perineum, right? That place, right? Smooth sailing. Now, are we talking about ancient medicine? Yes. Are we talking about ancient cult? Yes. Are we talking about ancient culture? Yes. We're talking about the application of plasters, the Christing. What is a Christ? It's one of these plasters that you're applying by Christing. People, is that person walking a cat? You see, he's going to pick him up. See, it's not the way, you know what I mean? It's not the way humans, right? The watchers think that's hilarious. People, all right, give me the next one. Give me the next one. Did we finish all that one? Yeah, we did. Give me the next one. Here we go. This is a little more Veritas, right? Boom. And I just want you to look. Why did I bring this one up? Okay. Yeah, okay. Look at section 211, people. It says therapia satyriasis. Now we're going in for the therapy or the treatment of satyriasis. And what happens in satyriasis? Well, let him explain it to you. Your genitals become erect because the neura, your nerves, are all inflamed. Okay. And you have this feeling of epithumia, intense sexual drive. Kai and lupe. Wait a minute, pain? Yeah. Pain. All focused on the acquisition of the Aphroditic act, the completion of copulation. Okay. These people, look at this word, people, right here. They ekmeinontai. These people go nuts. They enter the states of prophets. Have you ever seen a prophet who's been Christed? Do you know what is visible with these prophets? Their erection. When there is a crowd of people around Jesus saying, crucify this guy, right? They're looking at him and they think whatever he's got is worse than murder. All right. Was he arrested with the naked boy? Yes, he was. Jesus Christ, the Christed. Jesus, having Christed, was arrested with a naked boy in a public park. That is in the Bible. Mark, the Gospel of Mark. And by the way, somebody asked me, is there any evidence of Jesus outside the Bible? Oh, God, you know what that is? That's a failed attempt by a failed generation of academics to overthrow monism by planting your head in the sand. All right. Whoever gave that question to the person who asked it to me is a moron. The Apocrypha is outside of your canonical Bible. Right? And, it's a whole sea of literature that has to do with Jesus and all of his followers. As a matter of fact, if we didn't have the Apocrypha, we wouldn't know that the only thing that Jesus ever wrote down was a bill of sale for Thomas. right? I, Jesus, owner of this dude Thomas, do hereby hand over to the eunuch that was buying him. Right? It's the only thing he ever wrote. Is there evidence for Jesus outside the Bible? Yeah, there's a shit. So all these academics who sit back and say Jesus never existed, you're morons who play with arguments. Mythicists. What the fuck does that mean? Oh my God. Idiots, total idiots. The reality is way better, people, but they never read these texts. Morons. You modern classicists, you're fucking morons. Oh, I got to stop saying F words. I'm trying to follow the president. You know what I mean? Apparently that's the way to go. Give it to me. YouTube, I'm sorry. Beep. Everybody here, little children, don't, right? And I talk to you as my little children because you're segregation, right? Right. Now, you see how disturbing that is? If I walked around and called you my kitties, wouldn't you be bothered by that? I would. Group of grown men in their 30s getting called kitties. That's not why he's calling them children. Oh my God. Let's go. Wait, what does it say? Yeah, we're talking about therapy for satyriasis. So what is, oh yeah, and you got to, okay, take it down. Go ahead. Satyriasis, how do we treat it? Because they're giving people drugs that will induce a state of satyriasis. It's painful, unremitting erection. Painful, unremitting erection that causes you to enter into a state of mania. Imagine being in the grips of climax all the time. Do you understand? You may start saying some crazy stuff, right? It may, but see, the problem is, people, it's all being tuned. The mysteries are only able to function because of this knowledge of what happens when you apply these drugs. Why do you think the priestess has to be there? Why do you think the monastery's saying, oh, fornication, temple prostitution? Because when you enter the state, you have to be elevated to Aphrodite. Does something to the brain, people. Does something to the brain. Now you know why they all have horns. Now you know why the prophets have horns. Oh my God, they didn't tell me. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. It's over and over in the text. You just don't read it. That's your reality, people. What does he say happens? He says this doctor very carefully describes what the satyr goes through. No, that's coming up. What the satyr goes through. Okay. We know what happens to the satyr. One of the things, for example, that we'll see, like in that one you have, is coming up, is that the beard, man. You foam at the mouth, right? Imagine this unremitting sexual arousal, foaming at the mouth, right? Like a goat. Like a goat. Have you ever? That's what the doctor says. Apparently, goats get all foamy when they get in the way, or they can, or some breed did at some time. So that some dude looked at. Are we dead? No, we're not dead though. Sorry, folks, our internet is bad. It goes in and out here. It's why we come out here. It's like, anywho, goats, satyriasis. Bringing back that text that we were just the next one. Yeah, this one. Here's the chapter to explain to you what exactly is satyriasis, written by the physician. Right? Just an entire chapter. And he says, those satyrs were priests of Dionysus, on the writings and on the images. They're always portrayed as being erect on those images, right? They go around, right? They they are that symbolon, right, of that practice of the God. Do you understand? It's a real, that straightening, it's a real pathology that they've got going on with their idoia. Right? Doesn't he sound like a great doctor, by the way? Right? And he goes on to say, look, there's this terrible urge, this overwhelming urge. This terrible, overwhelming urge to coupling, to intercourse, a drive that causes you to enter into mania. Now, he says at the bottom of this passage, he says, and women are right in the middle of it. You don't have to have male genitalia. Imagine this, right? Imagine this. What does he say? He says they go through the same process, right? The same maddening process, but you can't visibly see an erection, but they do have the same heightened sexual sense with this crazy constant climax. Imagine stretching out that climax, unable to stop it, so much that it drives you prophetically nuts. Right? You will kill someone. Do you understand? You become dangerous. Right? Now, if we all train in groups, then we're menads. Do you understand? You get those very same women who are using those drugs, learning those hymns, playing those instruments, and you put them into a state of constant satyriasis. Drug-induced satyriasis. Wow. The horror must be appreciated, right? People become suicidal from the mastering of the urge itself. You talk about a horme. It's the word, it's the Greek word that we use for hormone. Right? What are your hormones really? They're your urges, the things that cause your urges. If we take that urge, the sexual urge, and we stretch it out, right, so that the person is perpetually in state of climax. And they say from both the males and the females, there is a running off. It's different consistency in both, but there is a running off of a pollution, right? Where is Lady Babylon's pollution? Delugma. It's in her cup of communion. Oh, God. Do you see the beauty of the science here, the biology, the chemistry, the ritual, the anthropology here, the history? It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You remember the kid that was with Jesus when he says, if it's your will, I don't want to do this, but if it's your will, I'll take the cup. He says, let the cup pass if it's your will. If not, I'm going to do it. And what happens? Takes the cup. There is no physical cup. The very fact that you were looking for a golden chalice is absolutely hilarious. The joke is on you. The person is the vessel. That naked kid that was with Jesus was a font. He's on these drugs and he's getting that exudate just like an adult does. You are taking over the body to produce substances, And the one that Jesus needs comes through a medicated bandage with burning purple. He sucks the medication through the bandage, creating the galene. That is the cure. He was caught in mid-process, so of course he didn't get it, and that's why he's screaming. You know what these satyrs scream about all the time? Thirst. How thirsty they are. Do you understand? Okay. Imagine the combination of the two. Complete and total sexual drive, right? Coupled with a thirst for fluid. Take, this is my body. This is my blood. Haima. Oh, God. Oh, God. Do you see the text? Isn't it wonderful? Oh, God. Creepy. Good. Give me the next one, people. This is the stuff people were saying, this is what's so good that you're bringing us. Yeah, blow up the bottom, because there's a section on the women here, right? The women suffer the same pathos, right? Same disease, right? It's a horme, he says. It's down here that I'm reading. It's a horme. It is a drive, an insatiable drive that leads to aphrodisia. Where is aphrodisia? Because I want to go there. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to go to aphrodisia? Right? You know what aphrodisia are? They're drugs. Right? Oh, you didn't think aphrodisiacs? They had the word aphrodisiac? Right? This is the worship of Aphrodite. Why does the worship of Bacchus always lead to Aphrodite? It's sitting here in the text right in front of you. It's because we have become satyrs and maenads. Now, there's a difference. The satyrs don't become oracular. The maenads do. There's something in the body of the woman. When this is reacted, when this whole thing plays out, there's something in the body of the woman that is produced that is different. It's a reaction that is different. Probably has something to do with the whole idea that they had in antiquity, that women and men have different orgasms, and that women have elevated orgasm, sexual ecstasy, elevated, right? They even measured it. They tried to quantify it. They did. I'm not kidding. These Greeks, they sat around thinking about this stuff. You know, what's the mathematical proportion? If men get to a level 3, women get to a level 10, right? Well, how are we going to quantify it? You know what can get you there? The venoms. The venoms. You realize none of this is made possible without the drugs. People say, Amon's always talking about drugs. Drugs were ubiquitous. I said that and people are shocked. Right? Did you know? Did you know that they were using the Christing on the virgins? Why did you think Mary had purple fingers? Give me the last one. Was that the last one? Yeah, is there one more? No, that's it. Okay. Ladies, it says that your capacity, right? It talks about your capacity and what you will suffer as well. But the fact is, you're able to reach a higher plane. You're able to tap into something that, for whatever reason, the brain under the influence of androgens is not able to achieve. Right now, every woman out there just had a little brain breeze blow through her head, because there have been times that she has said that to herself. Right? Yeah, wait, that's nature, right? Congratulations. Right? Congratulations. It's fantastic. It's a gift. It's a gift. Now, people, let's go to the text. The purple thread, I like that, right? Right, the purple thread talking about Mary. Talking about Mary. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? When you baptize people, you realize that's a sacred drug act, right? Oh, God, he's even taken baptism from us, right? Oh, I'll show you the text and I'll show you all the Christ things. It's fantastic. Let's go to Unit 1. People, that was, by the way, that was some of the difficult material to look at and handle, to play with. Oh, Josh just got into an accident. You gotta be careful, dude. Right? Don't. Right, pay attention when you're driving. That's the kitty lesson for the day. Right, pay attention. Why is this a theme even? People, why is Timmy, bring Timmy up one more time. Why is Timmy's nocturnal emission even relevant to why is this even relevant? You cannot say the word Christ and hear what they heard in antiquity. I just showed you the Christing of testicles for the sake of sweet, calm, boring dreams. A narrowing of the portal to the oracle. We can control it. We have the power to open and close that aperture, to create that signal 100%, to bring her back. That is the echidnaic power. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, we can travel through time too. Give me the textbook, people. Where are we going to get all this? We're going to get all this from the Greek, and I want you to go back to the vocabulary list and look at a couple of these. I want you to say them to yourself. My God, man. My God. It's so far back, people. Look, it's after the exercises. No, it's not that far. We missed it. Boom. Here we go. All right. Look at the ending of this list. I want you to notice psyche, the second to last there. Psyche, psi, upsilon, he, eta. Psi, upsilon, he, eta, right? Psyche. Psyche. Make sure you get that slight percussive puff at the beginning. Psyche. And what is that? That is your soul. Not really, but for now, just think of that. Hora. That's just some kind of countryside, right? Right? Hora. Look at that one. He, omega, rho, alpha. Hora. Hora. That's some kind of countryside, right? Techne. Here's one of my favorites. Techne above hora is techne. Now, what am I doing? I'm trying to get you to focus your vision on the word that you just learned the letters of, and you're trying to repeat. Techne. Look at it. Tau, epsilon, he, nu, eta. Techne. Not techne with an accent on the end, but techne with an accent over the epsilon. Look at the verb above that, pimpe. Pimpe. It's not pimpe, it's pimpe. Pimpe. Right. Fantastic. Look at the verb above that one, paidewe. Paidewe. What am I doing here? I'm using my digamma, people. Pi, de, way. Pi, de, way. Pi, de, way. Pi, de, way. Right? Pi, de, way. That's where your accent is. Gorgeous. What do you do when you pi, de, someone? You educate them as you would a pice. You kidify them. And what is it when you kidify someone? I want to kidify. means to raise them in that which is beautiful. The music, the math, the geometry, the cosmos, the stars, the physics of how life works, the chorus. If you're not in a chorus, you have no education. Do you understand? And I don't mean a chorus like the ones that sing Amazing Grace. Do you understand? I don't mean those choruses. Fantastic. Those are boring, right? What do? You sit there. People, seriously, can you believe that religion has gotten to the plateau that it's gotten to by giving people crackers and some juice, maybe some wine? Not enough to make you feel good, just enough to be like, dude, should I be sharing that one cup with everybody? Right? What do? You eat a cracker. Do you think that's really religion? Do you think that's apocalypse? It's not. And it's not Christing either, because before today, all of you who are monists who are listening to me, you didn't know that you could Christ balls. That's how ignorant you are. And that's why they maintain control over you. Welcome to monism. Go back to the chapter. People, we're having an event around us today where we are, and it's hot as hell. It's hot as hell. So I'm going to end this pretty quick. I meant to have another 45 minutes here. People, you have read unit number 1. I know I'm sweating, Chewy. Here, let me take off my jacket. No, fantastic. Oh, God. You still in there? Whew. Here we go. People. Bring up chapter 1. Make it big. People, this is nouns. We want to consider nouns. That's all I want you to think about is nouns. Oh, God. Deltas. Give it to me. Go. Here we go. Boom. Yeah, let's start now. Let's start here. People, I want you to notice that we talk about first and second declension nouns. What is that declension? Just think of it as a family. Think of it as a family of nouns. Do you understand? A family of nouns. There is the first family of nouns. Nouns are people, places, and things. And there is a first family of them. And this family is feminine. It's feminine. And it has feminine forms. You need to learn feminine forms in the language. You want to see some sexy feminine forms? Ooh, look at these two. This is the eta and the alpha. Now, the alpha can swing either way and be neuter, you know what I mean? But the eta stinks of the feminine goody. Do you understand? Look at it. A, ace, A, ain. Ignore the bottom A. Right? What am I telling you? The endings of the word. This is how the endings of your nouns are going to look. They're going to look like an eta or an eta sigma or an eta iota or an eta nu. Forget this one at the bottom for now. Look at these top 4. Nominative, genitive, dative, and accusative. These are all cases of nouns in the first declension. This is what the noun can do if you change its ending around. If you take that top one, it's the subject. If you take the next one under it, the genitive, it's telling you something about possession, something about the movement from one group to another. It's about grouping, origin. Yes, fantastic. You're talking about a container when you're talking about the genitive. The dative, look, it's an eta with an iota subscript underneath. Little iota subscript underneath. And what does that iota subscript do? It kicks you into the dative case. And what is the dative case? The dative case is the instrument of your thought. I'll show you what this means. The accusative. What is the accusative case? The eta plus the nu. What does that mean? It is the object that you're focusing on, the object of your verb. I pet the dog. I is the subject, pet is the verb, and dog is your accusative object. Because I am the subject, I'm in the nominative case. Right? If I pet Jennifer's dog or the dog of Jennifer, I'm going to have to use a genitive case. Right? Jennifer's dog, the dog of Jennifer. If I do something by means or to or for the dog, for the benefit of the dog, I'm going to put the dog in the dative case. Right now, what I just did, take it down. People, I want you to have that, and I want you to think about it. I want you to reread Unit 1, and I want you to think about what I am doing. I am cementing in your mind the different shapes that these nouns can take. The one noun, dog, I gave you dog, right? Dog, right? To or for the dog. The dog is doing something. Something's doing something to the dog. Oh, God, it goes on, right? The dog's bone of the dog. All of that is programmed into the end of the word. And I want you to just contemplate that fact. All of the shapes that the word can assume in the ending. That ending is the catalyst. That ending tells you everything, how this word works. What comes before it is the root. Oh, God. Oh, God. Love it. Now I'm boiling today because of something wonderful. I think it's a kiddie program. Let's go. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going on a special mission. It is so hot. We've got to move this time. I'm going on a special mission. Right, a special mission. I can't tell you what it is, but I want you to know that I'm working for you. Do you understand? I'm working for you. This is our chance. All right. When I return next week, Wretch will be joining us. Wretch will be joining us. Did you hear that, Wretch? You've got to join us, and you've got to bring that dirty, dirty stuff that you threw at me from Prudentius, that dirty, dirty Christian mystic. Now, he's not a mystic. He's just recording what everybody else is doing, right? That's why it doesn't matter if your source is a monist or, or not. It doesn't matter because they're still recording, right? Fantastic. You still have the evidence. Just because it's not a hostile witness doesn't mean you have to, throw it away. Fantastic. So this is how reality is. Close it. This is how reality is. All right. There was one other thing I wanted to do before. So there's two big things coming up. Two big things. One of them will be happening where I am present. Another will be happening where someone else is present. But I want you to know the Renaissance is coming. The people are in place. The weapons are set. It's time. It's time to blow it. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for being with me as we watch the coming. Look, I told you he's walking a cat. As we watch the coming of the Renaissance, as monism dies. And some people write to me and they express things that I think I can only express with this answer. Yes, monism does die. It is always temporary. We will revert back to nature. Oh, God. Now, this tech that we have with the mystery, right? You have to understand this is serious stuff, right? And if we are able to read and comprehend the stuff, the maps, they've left maps for us, people, on how to do this, how to revive. Do you understand how to revive the mystery? What is the purpose of reviving the mystery? To purge society of monism. To take that faith that causes you to bend the knee to a tyrant instead of the people, to break it. Do you understand? Oh, God. That's what it does. That's what the mystery's function is. Do you know why monism is so widespread on your planet? Do you know? Ask a watcher. Right? Do you understand that it's because you have taken the cure and buried it? You choose to be sick. You live in a world that follows a dude who was Christing children, getting his antidote from a sex slave when he was caught by a SWAT unit. Yeah. You don't even know who you are. Now you do. Welcome to you. Satanic congregation, you've known. Let's keep going forward. I will return. And when I do, I will bring you the completion of the book of ecstasy, which is what I'm calling it, the book of ecstasy. Oh, God. Oh, the echidna. Oh, God. I don't even know how I can finish it. I don't even know how I can finish it. So, okay. Thank you for coming today. You may return your seats to their upright positions now and take off your splashwear. Hail Satan.
Roll around like a zombie do, eyes roll in the back of their head, eating the dead, blood drinkers, snow blind again. On the microphone, 1-2, Orphic harmony on the harp. It's Donnie Darko, milking these motherfucking bricks out. Teddy Face putting in more work, with politicians pulling your skirts. Just dance a little bit, wugga wugga, 2 shoes at the party, dressed to kill. These motherfucking drugs got him ill, baby. I'm a Deus dead switch with the prick.